Hey guys, welcome to WoW Weekly with Myst. For this week we have World Quests will be the weekly, the PvP Brawl will be Arathi Blizzard, the third wing of the new raid for LFR will open up. Dark Moon Fair is also running all week. Usually you have till Sunday morning. It typically ends at midnight, but sometimes it goes like an hour or two later. And for NA players, we will have the pet leveling and WoD back. It's just the regular one, not the super one, but still really good. And that will be available on Friday. Okay, so starting with the news, Blizzard has apparently joined Prime Gaming, which I already thought had happened. I swear to God, I have accepted rewards for like Hearthstone over there and Overwatch, but whatever that seems to mean, they have joined it. I think that's great. Like I said, I thought they were already part of it, but I think that opens a lot of doors. Obviously the major perks you're gonna see is gonna be for Hearthstone and Overwatch. I don't know about WoW. If they did something for WoW, I think it would be very much down the road. Okay, so next up in news, this is something I don't always report on because I got so sick and tired of hearing about it for so long. But the lawsuit with Blizzard. Okay, so the courts approved an $18 million settlement with the EEOC. For those that don't know what EEOC stands for, it is the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. And basically, as part of the agreement, this is what they are required. They're going to create an $18 million fund for compensation. They're going to continue working on policies, practices, and training to prevent harassment and discrimination in the workplace. They also will be engaging a neutral third-party equal employment opportunity consultant. This is a non-employee who must be approved by the EEOC, and they will provide ongoing oversight of the company's compliance with the agreement, and the independent consultant's findings will be reported directly to the EEOC and Activision Blizzard's board of directors. And then the final thing that they are agreeing to here is that they will be hiring an internal EEO coordinator with relevant experience in gender discrimination, harassment, and related retaliation to assist the company. This person has already been assigned the role. Their name is Stacy Jackson, and they began this role on March 16th. Now, this is exactly what I said would happen, and it's one of the reasons why I only reported on this in the beginning. I had done a big spiel of how I felt about the lawsuit, and especially coming from the angle of a woman. In the end, how I ended that is that they'll settle. This is how this shit goes. It's, this is gonna be swept under the rug, and, it does look like things will get better, but that's assuming they keep up with this stuff, right? $18 million is not a whole lot of money for Activision Blizzard. Like, they're a $1 billion company, and yeah, 18 million is just pocket change to them. Rumor is that 18 million is actually the highest that the EEOC settlement can be. So they've actually hit Activision Blizzard with the worst case that they can do. Hopefully this will change things. As a woman, I have just kind of grown up knowing that you gotta stand your ground at a job. It can be tough as a woman. You gotta stand your ground. And yeah, you can't be. I don't want to use the word weak woman because that's, I'll get hate for that probably. But you gotta be a strong woman, if you're gonna work in a business that is mainly ran by men, like, yeah, the gaming world is still very high in the male gender. I've gone through it. Like, my main work industry was warehouse work. I've done warehouse work pretty much since exiting high school. And it was like that in the beginning. And then, you stand your ground enough, they know not to fuck with you. I also, when I was a kid, I wanted to be in the army. And so I started with cadets when I was like 13. And back then, girls didn't join the cadets. I was like the only fucking girl in there. And the rest were all guys. And so I have definitely been put in a situation where I am the minority, and it can be tough. That was a really tough time in my life because, one, I chose that for myself. I just wanted to go in there. Like, I wasn't being pushed into cadets. I wanted, I grew up in a family that didn't really give a shit what I did. And yeah, I had made that choice, right? And that was really tough. And that's when I first learned. It was at the age of 13 that I first learned how it is to be a woman. Because, I've always, like, for my whole life, I've just kind of, like, pushed it to the side and I do my own thing. And yeah, it's not until I look back to that moment when I was 13 that I realize how long stuff like that has been going on. And I experienced it firsthand because, like I said, girls didn't join cadets back then. And if they did, it was so few that you were lucky to be in a corps that had another one in it. What I remember the most out of that is having to prove myself. So this right here is some fan art. So the bottom picture is the original. This is your transmogs in the game right now. And the top picture is fan art redoing it. And I thought this was done really good. Keep in mind, this is just fan art. This is not in the game. This is not going in the game as far as we know at the moment. But I thought they did a really good job. Blizzard needs to hire more people like this. This guy is not an employee of Blizzard, but he should be. He did a really good job. I have mentioned before that I'm not too fond of a lot of the Shadowlands transmogs because they all look the same to me. They're all so similar in color and they're just kind of blah. Right? And I haven't liked them from the beginning, Like, some of the designs are nice, but the variety just isn't there. And I thought this guy did a pretty good job on just kind of giving it a little color. The one I've got an arrow pointing to is my personal favorite out of all of these. I hope they have some good artists on the team for the next expansion, that's for sure. Okay, so another thing that happened just a couple of days ago is that we got another leak having to do with the new expansion. Now, the past leaks have been, people believing that it'll be a dragon expansion, and that part has been definitely believable. There's other things that have come up that have kind of put that into light. And this expansion leak is through the coding. So what it is it's basically showing in the coding that there is a pre-purchase for the expansion. And as usual, we have like a base and then a heroic and an epic. And it's showing that. I think this is real, honestly, because we're close to a reveal. I had mentioned when we first got news on that reveal that we were probably going to see a pre-purchase. So this is probably preparation for that. I do think that we may see a pre-purchase available when they announce that. Hopefully anyway, or else it's gonna be a pretty crappy announcement to not even be able to get hyped, you know, like, yeah, pre-purchases hype you a little more when you see that you can actually get it. Of course, we won't fully know until the reveal, but I definitely think that's real. Okay, and we're just going to end the retail news off with my accomplishments. So, for my accomplishments this week, I actually did a lot. For a week that I really wasn't playing a whole lot of WoW, I've been kind of into Kirby this week. I had a Death Advance Paragon cache, so I went and opened that. I got the Barrel Shard Hide, which means I have both mounts from that cache now. And the Dark Maul mount, I finally got the last thing I needed from the invasive mushrooms to get the Dark Maul mount. You need 10 in total, so it takes a little bit of time. Plague Rot Taurus, I bought. Death Runner is the first mount you're able to create with your mount creation in Zereth Mortis. I finally did that, got a lot of blueprints as well, so I'm pretty set up there. I just gotta farm the items, which is super boring and probably why I'm playing a lot of Kirby lately. And then my biggest accomplishment this past week was Mechadon. I am finally done with that achievement. I got the mount. It is sweet. I love this mount. I really wanted this one because it's silver. The other one's like a rusty brown, you know, like, yeah, it just looks like crap. But this one is silver. It looks nice and polished, and it's just beautiful. I love this mount. I also am officially done running my pet dungeons. So I was really excited to get that out of the way. I needed one more for Blackrock Depths, which I did, and I've encountered every fight in there, so I will have a video up on the channel. I was waiting for me to kind of encounter every single possibility so that I could have a guide for anything you would approach in there. So that will be upcoming. And then Strat, I was 2 dungeons away, but I lucked out and I got the bonus battle, which I was really hoping for. And when you get the bonus battle, you get like it acts as a world quest, so you get a token from it, which means that saves you on one run. So yeah, I got 2 tokens this week from Strat. So officially done. I'm really happy about that. Those they're not horrible, but I was doing them all like together. You know, like when I first started, they were all already released by the time I started, so I was just kind of like doing a shit ton every week. So nice to have that out of the way. Those were my accomplishments this week. So that concludes the retail news. I just wanted to talk a little on Diablo. Okay, so Diablo Immortal. I thought that clip looked amazing for a mobile game. When they first released this, it was a horrible way to announce it because everyone was hoping for a new PC Diablo. They just announced it badly. They should have announced this with D4, and they had made no mention of D4 back then. Aside from that, I think it looks really good. I personally can't play a whole lot of games on my phone, though. I don't like the small screen and the constant clicking around. The only way I could see this game ever being played by me is if I could somehow connect a keyboard or something to it. Yeah, when it comes to any mobile games that I may play, they're always very simple, like Bejeweled, stuff you only play for a little bit. I love Diablo. It's like my second favorite game, first obviously being WoW. I will at least try it out. But for me, it just won't last long. I do not continue playing mobile games for very long. I would much rather play this on the computer. So, Diablo Immortal has like an exclusive cosmetic set. The above set is just an example. I will link the page that is showing all of the sets for this game for male and female. You can just click the link and look at the rest. This one's kind of weird because it said it'll unlock if at least 30 million players pre-register Diablo Immortal. There is no official date, but it is set as a release date of June 30th, 2022, which is it's a placeholder date, but that usually means that it'll be out prior to that. So I think we can expect that Diablo Immortal will be available sometime in June. Yeah. Okay, so that is the info for that one. Now for the rest of us that are excited for Diablo 4, there has been some development with that. And I came across some little clips this past week that I thought you guys might be interested in. So we're going to end the video with that. So, I'll say my goodbyes now, and that's how the video is going to end. So the first clip I'm going to show you is the environmental aspect of it. And the second one is some sound effects that they've been doing. The sound effects in the second one involve fire, and I thought it was really cool. So that calls it on this video. I hope you enjoy these two clips that I'm gonna leave you with. And yeah, I'm looking so forward to Diablo 4 when they finally are done and ready to share it with us. And yeah, so hyped for that. So these kind of came into play because they shared their first quarterly update for 2022. So have a great week. We'll see you in the next one.
take 4 or 5. With the fire staff, all 4 wicks are on fire. It's a big one. It's a big one.